Hey Chris, this one's for you, brother. Appreciate your request on how I loop treasure. I'm going to walk you through all the parts so you know what goes into the loop and on which tracks. There's 2 tracks, so heaps of you will have loopers that can do this nice and easily. There's a slight difference between the RC300 and the Voice Live 3. I'll go through that and let's get into it, I guess. In case you haven't seen the video I did performing this, there's a link below. I'm going to play a little snippet and then we're going to dive into the first part.
Well, treasure, that is what you are. Yeah, you're my golden star. You can make my wish come true if you let me treasure.
Alright, so the rhythm is the first part I put down, and you will not receive a more basic beatboxing lesson ever. I don't think that I'm very good at all, but I do what works functionally to create a groove and sound. So I'm recording the rhythm on track 1. It's just one take, and I record guitar and vocals at the same time, and my voice is going oh yeah, literally the boots and cats, you know, of beatboxing. But that's what I'm doing, and at the same time on the guitar, I am hitting the bass strings, the 4 lower strings really, with the side of my thumb near to the bridge, in the same pattern. So I hit that once. I do a slight upstroke with my fingers, then a down strum, muted with my left hand, and then a little up strum again. So I'm doing on the guitar with my voice, and together recording these on track 1. That's all that goes on track 1, doesn't change. I leave that rhythm running through the whole thing. On track 2, moving on track 2, I record a guitar part, and I keep it nice and high on the guitar so that I'm out of the way when I record the bass as well. So track 2 has guitar and bass. And the guitar part, let's dive through it. I'm essentially using 4 chords for this, and it's a C major 7, a normal C, a D, and an E minor. But I play them quite high up on the neck, so I'm out of the way of the bass. And that is, my C major 7 is the 10th fret on the 4th string, and the 12th frets on the 3rd and 2nd strings. And then it walks down C major 7 to D and C, and how I'm playing those is in the shape of an E major bar chord, an E shape, but I'm just playing the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings. So the D is 10, 11, 12 on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings. The C is 8, 9, 10 on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings. Okay, so we get so after that first walk down, right? C major 7, D, C, C to that C major 7 again, back to D, and then we're moving up to E minor. So E minor is the 14th fret on the 4th string, the 12th fret on the 3rd and 2nd strings. And you can rewind this video, you can watch it again if you missed something, just check. And then that goes to E minor to D. So just slowly through that, once you've got the positions, you've got the chord shapes. And you'll notice I do pick a little bit. I want to get some of that rhythm in there as well. So I pick a little rhythm similar to that most of the time, where I'm picking the 4th string with my thumb and then the next 2 strings. Okay, and again picking that 4th string and then a little slap for the rhythm there. I change it slightly every time. I just want to get the essence of that, and just as a suggestion that you could try, you can actually play the fuller chords, and I would actually change the chords if I wasn't putting in a bass line. So just to give you a little bit of insight into how I'm thinking about this, these chords, I'm doing all the major versions. So it is just C major 7, D, C, C, C major 7, D, D, E minor, D. But when I play the bass actually outlines an A minor 7 and an A minor and a B minor chord, which is the relative major and minor. You don't need to know that for this video whatsoever, but just to give you another option, if you were to play and loop this without a bass line, you just wanted the chords looped, then I would play C major 7 down to B minor 7 to A minor 7, A minor, C major 7, B minor 7 to E minor, D. So the progression with full chords would be Alright, so it's a total side note. I don't play it in the video. I just thought I would throw it in there and include it in case it's useful for some of you, because you'll all work out a cool loop version. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same as what I've done, but hopefully that helps you create something that you enjoy playing. So let's move on to the bass part. This bass part is also recorded on track 2, so I leave it overdubbing after doing the guitar part. I kick on the OC5, the Boss OC5, which is an octave pedal, which just drops everything, so I get a bass sound from the same guitar. And then most of the bass line is these nice octaves. So we're starting again from C, from the 8th fret on the 6th string, and we're doing octaves, which means we skip a string and we go up 2 frets. So 8th fret on the 6th string and the 10th fret on the 4th string. Then we walk down and we're doing the same octave idea at now an A minor 7 kind of flavor at the 5th fret, which is the 5th fret, skip a string, and the 7th fret. Okay, and we've just walked down from C, B, A, 8, 7, 5 on that bass string. So let's put that first part together of the bass line. Carrying on, building on that, we're now at B minor for the bass. And we've got this octave again, so 7th fret to the 9th fret, skip a string, and then a walk up, 7, 10, 7 on the 5th string. And we get another octave from there, which now, same story, skips a string and up 2 frets. So we've got 7th fret on the 5th string, we've got the 9th fret on the 3rd string. And the last part of this bass line is a little run from the 10th fret to the 12th, hammer on the 6th string, to the 10th fret on the 5th string and back again. And last note, 10th fret on the 6th string. And that repeats. And when I loop this, I don't actually start. I'm giving you this from the start, right? And then repeats. When I'm looping, in terms of just timing to get this, I leave it overdubbing, and so I actually start partway through this bass line. So I actually start partway through, and it just means that there's not this long pause while we wait for the whole loop to come round. My loops get built a little bit faster, and I have some time to switch pedals and things like that. But that's all that goes on the second loop. Alright, there's two other parts that I play, and that is a D11 chord, which is the lead up to the chorus. And I stop track 2, which has got the guitar and the bass on it, and I kick on an OC3 pedal. That means I have an octave on the lower strings as well as my guitar sound. So it keeps it nice and full when I stop that part of the loop. It feels like I've still got a nice big sound happening. And that chord is the 10th fret on the 6th string, and then from the 4th string, 10th fret, 3rd string, 9th fret, 2nd string, 8th fret. So I use my 3rd finger on that bass string. You can also use your thumb and add the 9th in if you want. You can do any variation of that. Fundamentally, it's an 11th chord. So we've got a D in the bass, and then the actual chord is a C. So however you want to do that, you could play it like this if you want, just with the open D string and then your first finger at the 1st fret of the 2nd string, just like a C chord, but we're not using the rest of our fingers. So to make it easy, who knows? I don't know who's watching and you know whether this is going to be challenging or easy or whatever for you. So maybe that's an option. And what I do at that point, I stop track 2, and this is where it's a little bit different if you're using an RC300 or you're using the Voice Live 3. On the RC300, I can stop track 2 and just start it again when the chorus comes in and leave the percussion, the rhythm track running the whole time. Or I can stop track 1 as well, just at the end of this, to have a little bit of a pause, a little bit of silence, which gives everyone listening a little bit of space, and then start all again. On the Voice Live 3, it's a little bit different, and what I would do is I would stop track 2 and play this with the rhythm still going, and then I would always stop track 1 at the end of that and hit my loop triggers, which would start track A and B again. So if you're on a Voice Live 3, I recommend doing that. I found that if I would stop the track and start both loops A and B together, it wouldn't ever have any issues. So that's what I recommend doing. The one other part that I play live, it doesn't get looped for me, I play it while I'm singing and playing the chorus, is the little riff that goes during the chorus on the original version. So I have my first finger barred at the 10th fret across the strings 1 and 2, and it's just a hammer on that 1st fret up to the 12th. Oh, sorry, on the 1st string up to the 12th fret. Time for a coffee. God, coffee. You could loop this, of course, if you wanted. You could loop it on track 3 on the RC300, or you could loop it on track 2 where you've already got the guitar and the bass line, and just use undo and redo to bring it in and out for the choruses if you wish. So I hope that gives you some insight into how I build the track, and maybe gives you another fun track to play with, whether you do it the same as me or whether you do something entirely different. Obviously we all have our own expression and how we play and sing and do things. So hopefully this is useful. Happy looping, and Chris, let me know, brother, when you do a version. I'd love to see it down the track. Ciao.
Treasure, that is what you are.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. If you're building this on a looper with just one track, build the whole loop, the groove, the chords, the bass line, all on your one track looper, the full thing. And then when you get to just before the chorus, that 11th chord, just stop the loop and then kick it back in for the chorus and you're good to go.